Welcome to my Halloween special featuring bad lighting and the roadworks soundtrack from outside and the scariest book that I own face out on my shelf. Today I want to talk about the spookiest thing that ever happened to me. And I do mean spooky because when you're a kid, everything's pretty spooky. Some weirder things have definitely happened to me when I was a grown-up, but as a kid, this really spooked me out. I was spending the summer holidays at my grandparents' house. A small, dark, creaky, terraced house. In other words, a haven of peace in the center of the terrifying town of Southend-on-Sea. We visited every year, and this particular year was to be the most terrifying year of all. Because one day, as I was looking at myself in the mirror, as I was wont to do around the age of 7. In fact, now I think about it, I don't think I did very much else than stare in the mirror when I was 7 years old. Anyway, I was looking in the mirror, and to my great shock, I noticed in the dark airing cupboard behind me some movement. I looked up and noticed a man staring at me. I froze and looked again, but the man was gone. I actually freaked out, like a completely freaked out. Like, this is actually a true story. I actually completely freaked out. And I told my sister, there's a man in the airing cupboard. He was just looking at me. Obviously, we went into the airing cupboard. There was nothing there. No, you didn't see any man in there. But no, I had definitely seen a man in there. I ran downstairs and I told my parents and I told my grandparents, there's a man in the airing cupboard upstairs. And they looked at each other, a bit freaked out themselves. I mean, understandably. And they said, what? And I said, no, there's a man upstairs. Oh, come on. No, there's no man upstairs. I swear, I was looking in the mirror, and then just behind me, I saw there was a man looking at me, and he was in the airing cupboard, and he was looking at me. So my mother actually got up and went upstairs and looked around, and obviously there was no man there. And she said, well, it's a jacket that's hanging there. You thought it was a man, but it was just the jacket that's hanging there. No, it was definitely a man. I promise you, Denny, it's just that it's dark in there, and you saw the coat, and your brain kind of filled in the gaps where you thought you saw a man. There's no man in here. Have a look. The light's on. We can see there's no man. I'm sure there was definitely a man in here. Well, after this incident, my grandfather removed from my reach all the interesting books from the house, the ones about ghosts in the UK and apparitions and tales of the strange and unexpected. But that obviously did nothing but upset me further. I would not go upstairs after this. I would not go to my bedroom. It became a problem in the evening because that's where I had to go to sleep, upstairs next to the airing cupboard. And I really didn't want to do that. I did eventually go to bed, and I lay in bed all night, worried that the man in the airing cupboard was probably standing there watching me. There was another little door in my bedroom that led to an attic, and I was pretty sure that he was in there as well. Anyway, this became a real problem because the next day I wasn't really good for very much because I hadn't slept all night. I was worrying about this man. And so that evening, my mother actually accompanied me upstairs and went into the airing cupboard and said in her most strict teacher's voice, hey, if there's anything in here, if there's anyone in here, you'd better get out of here straight away. I don't want you scaring my kids anymore. And there was no problem after that. Anyway, in possibly unrelated news, I wonder where the Solomonic magic tradition of speaking sternly to spirits comes from. And I wonder how important it is to know the exact right words to say. What happens if you say one of the words that's not in the grimoires? I don't know. Anyway, on that thought, I hope you all have a wonderful Halloween and a very happy Samhain to everyone who celebrates it. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and see you soon with another video.